All right, joining me now for another edition of Know Your Knights is Knights-EHL goaltender Jared Stahel. Jared, thanks for giving us a few minutes here of your time. First and foremost, we've seen you out there 3 of the 4 games now already. You've gotten a lot of action, but how would you yourself describe your skill set in net?
I really just try to stay positionally sound, just track the puck, do the best that I can do to cover up rebounds, things like that, make it easier for my team. Down in my paint and try to help out the D a little bit behind the net, passing the puck and things like that.
Sure. And, obviously we saw the beginning of the year, a tough weekend against the Philadelphia Little Flyers. But last week you guys come back and you come up with a big 2-0 weekend against New York Apple Corps. What was the biggest change in your mind? We know you got some new players in there as well. But what do you think was the biggest shift between that first weekend and then last weekend where you guys come away with a couple victories?
In the first weekend, it was just kind of shaking the rust off. Still learning the systems as a team, kind of communicating, things like that. The second week of practice after we played Philly, guys were talking a lot more. There was a lot more, communication on the ice. Guys were starting to buy into the systems. And going into Apple Corps, we saw that it worked. We saw that our power play was productive again, which it was not the first weekend. So that was a big change. Guys kind of started to just learn how each other play.
And then in that week, you guys got 2 new additions in Austin Weber and Anthony Starzi. This week, you guys bring in Chris Patrone. You've practiced against some of them. You practiced with some of them. You've also seen 2 of them out there on the ice. What would you say they add to your team?
They add a lot of speed. Coach Fusco's always talking about our team being a team built around its speed, and all 3 of those guys they're a little bit smaller, but they're all extremely quick, very maneuverable, very hard to knock off the puck, but it's all about speed.
Now, after 4 games watching this team and playing with this team, what would you say is probably the strongest element of the team as a whole?
I'm going to have to go with the same thing, the speed.
Okay.
Also the fact that there's not really any negative factors on the team. Nobody really complains a lot. Everybody buys in. So that's something that's very rare in junior hockey, I think. So I feel like that's pretty strong as well. Helps us out quite a bit.
Sure. Good chemistry. Definitely evident out there already on the ice. But we'll flip it over now to the fun side of this, and that we'll call it rapid fire. Doesn't mean every question has to be immediate or an immediate response, but we just try to lighten things up a little bit. First and foremost, we'll ask you this one. Who's your favorite goalie, or who is your favorite goalie in the NHL?
Currently, I'm going to have to go with Jake Allen.
Okay.
Been a fan of the Blues for a while.
Okay.
So always been a fan of their goalies, but Jake Allen's pretty good.
I was expecting a star there. St. Louis guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. How about if this is one we ask everybody, or at least a form of this question to everybody, but NHL 18's coming out, or just is about to come out, or just came out, but if you were to rate your team in that game, I know it's early in the year, but who would you put as the highest rated player on the team?
I'm definitely going to have to go with Jake Fuss.
Okay,
definitely Jake Fuss.
He's got the
he makes me look pretty stupid in practice. So.
He makes a lot of goals look bad. Yeah, no, that's one where he's consistent at that. But where would you put yourself? On the in the ratings list?
Oh, I don't know about that. Probably like mid-70s. Like stop a few pucks. But
that's harsh.
Some going. I'm gonna say NHL.
That's true. That's fair. All right. If we're grading on the scale up to the NHL, that's fair. All right. How about if you were to be stranded? This is another one we ask everybody. If you were to be stranded on a deserted island and you got to pick one teammate to try to survive that with, who would it be and why?
Thomas Walker, because number 1, he's my goalie partner. Number 2, he is also my rookie.
Okay.
Number 3, he doesn't really talk too much, so I feel like I would never get annoyed.
You get peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's good. All right, well, we'll wrap it up with this. Obviously goalies, feel very personally about their masks and get them customized, and you're no exception to that. You have a nice paint job out there. But what's on your mask, and then what's the reasoning behind it?
On the left side of my mask, it is the Dallas skyline with the American flag in the background, the shape of Texas on it. I'm from Dallas, Texas. Kind of just always keep home with me. The other side of the mask is actually Chris Kyle. He's a very iconic guy where I'm from.
Right.
I grew up with a lot of respect for the military.
Right.
And a lot of the things that he's done, I kind of saw him as an inspiration as I was growing up, and he was always all about your drive, all about take things like as seriously as you possibly can, to an extent obviously, but also never quit on your things, like whatever it may be that you're doing. And I saw a lot of memorabilia around him, and then when he came back from the service, he was fatally shot.
Right.
It was actually in Texas, but it kind of hit close to home because it was somebody that I've always looked up to growing up. So I had my artist, all I said was put Texas and Chris Kyle on my mask. And he came up with this beautiful design. And
we'll get a picture up there too. We'll
sweet.
put it in the video. Yeah, no, it looks good out there from the way up in the press box, and obviously, up close, it looks awesome. But yeah, we appreciate you, stopping by, giving us a few minutes and a few thoughts. The Knights will be in action tomorrow, Sunday, September 24th, first against Philadelphia Revolution. That game is on the road and can be viewed at hockeytv.com. That game's at 1 p.m. And then on Monday, the 25th, the Knights will be back here at home, and they'll take on, I believe, who's it? It's New York Bobcats.
Yep.
New York Bobcats.
A little bit of revenge, as Coach Fusco said.
Yeah, 2:30 p.m. here at the Revolution Ice Center. Admission is free. That game is also available on hockeytv.com. So again, Jared, thank you for the time, and we look forward to seeing you out there on the ice.
Thank you.